Welcome back, pure structure traders, for another market analysis for the London session and potentially into the US session. Today we're going to be going over S&P 500 and also gold, give you guys some levels that we're going to look at for the London session, and again those levels can move directly into the US session as well. Today is April 13, 2021 here in Hawaii, and will be April 14, 2021 in London. For those who are not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you guys do like these videos, please go ahead and smash that like button. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in there on YouTube. We would love to answer those questions for you guys. If you guys are interested in joining Pure Structure Trading, please go ahead and visit our website, and you can click on our link, put in your email there, and we'll get back to you guys. Again, any other questions you guys have, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. With that said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. For S&P 500, we did have a strong bullish move today. Now, it did take some time to actually get to where we wanted to, but we went and touched our measured move levels, and then we got up a little bit higher. I did have a measured move at 31, then 35, but we could see our top resistance that we had right here peaked out right around 39.75 right here, 41.39.75, and we're consolidating kind of right in this area. You see right around those 30s. Now, a couple things that happened this morning. Before the US session, you could see the market did come into our levels of resistance and then pull it down, and then by the time we got into the US session, it already had made some structured support and started to pull back up, and it couldn't break lower from there. You could see the movements that created those higher lows and then continued to pull to the upside from there. Now, for the London session and maybe even into the US session, what we really got to watch out for here is how the market moves around these areas. Now, there is a small minor level that could potentially come in as support. This is above our measured move. Measured move was right around these 30-31s. We're sitting right at that level right now, and we could potentially just bounce right here and hold this level and try to test the upside of 39 and then move up through that level. We have another major level up above at 41.53. That is our next measured move that we want to see the market try to get up to. If you guys don't understand how to put up these measured moves, feel free to ask. If you're part of Pure Structure Trading, feel free to ask how we do it. If you guys again have that question here, we could share a little bit about it, but we do teach this stuff when we go over coaching and when we go over how we do it in the rooms. So with that said, guys, again, we could look for the bounces here right around these 30-31s, and that support could hold right here. What I'd like to actually see is the actual deeper pullback that could potentially happen, which is either going to be maybe right around, I would like to see it come right around either these 25, 26s or these 20s. So either come down deeper here and then go, or pull down into these 20s and then try that support from there to continue the upside move. Again, you could have a lot of different scenarios here where price could consolidate here at this level, fail to go down, and then shoot right back up. You could get another move if it just breaks to the upside, breaks those 39.75s, that pullback retest these right around these 36 to 38s, and then a continuation up to 41.53 would be an awesome move that we could have on that pullback trade here. But for me, I really like if it try to pull back into these deeper levels here, where we know we would get a lot of buyers coming in right around these 20 to 25s, and then pull back to the upside from there. That would be a great opportunity to go long. Now for me, underneath these 20s, let me pull that back right back up here. Underneath these 20s, that's where I could actually potentially see the market try to go bearish again. We could see the market try to retest here, and if it fails to get back up, we could see the market try to pull down to our next level somewhere around either this range. Again, that range is going to act as a magnet, which is right around these 10 to 11s. That's our first target area, and below that range we're going to look for support at 4105, 4106, and then below that 99, and then 92 underneath. So really kind of a simple simple trading setups that we potentially could have on S&P 500. Either you're going to look for the minor level here at 30, you're going to look for the deeper pullbacks either there at 26, or you're going to look for the level somewhere around these 20s for the support too. Underneath 20, look for the market to try to pull back as a magnet into the range, and then get a little bit deeper into these 06s. Now, uh, for me, I really like to look for the longs off support levels, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. Shorting is going to be a little bit more riskier on this end because we got a lot of opportunity to the upside here. We don't got too much resistance, but if you really want to short, either you're going to get the nice shorts underneath these 20s, you're going to try these shorts coming back into it, or you're going to try the retest here, maybe a double top failure here at 39, and then try to pull it back down from there for the support. Um, Other than that, I really prefer the long opportunities, so we'll see what S&P 500 gives us. Let's take a look at a closer view here on S&P so you can see all the rotational movement that we're actually getting here. And we should probably get a attempt to try to pull back to the upside. We are consolidating in this level, and by this time we probably should have pulled down deeper, but we didn't. So we may get a retest of the upside move. And by London session, if we do, and we fail to get through here, this may be our first attempt to short, but we may be looking for a long opportunity here to go long to 39 and potentially through that in this bullish trend that we're looking at. Again, what could potentially happen too is that we could range between this level here, or even lower. So let's just talk about the range that potentially could happen here. This smaller movement, we could range from the bottom of these 31 to 30s, and we could go sideways right here and just kind of move between this area and not go anywhere. Or we could pull deeper, and this is the bigger range that we potentially could have here within this movement. Now, there is also one scenario that could happen is where we pull down into these 19 and 20s, and then we look to try to retest and we can't get back up. This is where we could see the potential move to pull down deeper here starting from this level, but that's going to be a little bit more risky, and you really got to understand how to shift the momentum in those types of trades, or how to at least understand it. But that is what we're going to be looking for on S&P 500. Not too much on S&P, not too much difficulties when it comes to trading, but some simplistic strategies that we potentially could put on within the market. So we'll see what the London session gives us into the US session, and then if the levels are broken through, then we'll reassess our levels, do another analysis, and then go from there. Let's take a look at gold here real quickly. For gold, kind of a similar scenario. We did have during the London session a nice bounce right off of our 23-24 area, and a nice move right back to the upside. And that was a main level of support. If you were trading with us last week, you would have known that's the same level of support that we couldn't break from last week. So once we bounced right off this level and we couldn't get through, we had a nice double bottom. We moved right back to the upside and continued that even into the US session. We had another level sitting right at these 35, 36s. Price again continued to hold these structured levels, and then again 41 to 42. Price could not break down this level, and then we attempted the upside again into those 48s and maybe even 51. Now we could have a lot of space to the upside, but what do we want to see within this movement for the London session? For me, the best opportunity is that we first come down into this area of about 42.4. And then when we do get down here, we could consolidate between this area. This is what could happen. We could hit that 42 and just make a nice range right between this level and then try to head back up, right? But within this range, you're still bullish. You want to buy low and you want to sell high. Now, I'd like a better trade opportunity, which is to get this thing to come a little bit deeper, maybe into these 36s, maybe even 31, and then you can see all the buyers that would come in. 36 would be the greatest area for me, honestly. If we hold this structured level, give it 2 attempts to try to break down, and if it can't, even if it dips a little bit lower and pops back up, that's our move back to the upside. To retest those 48s and maybe even 51s. Now again, like we said, we got a lot of space to the upside, so the buyers look a lot stronger than the sellers do here. But for right now, where we currently are, we do want to know that the sellers are going to take some control here and try to bring it back to our supports. So first support 41 to 42 could get that bounce off and then consolidate here and go between these two levels, or we could get this sellers to bring it down deeper into these 36s. Try not to buy that first bounce, but if you want to try to risk it, you can. But this may bounce and become very weak, and then go right back down into 31. So that's a potential that could happen. So you really want to let it, what you really want to do is you want to let it bounce back up, then come back down, and then not break it with a conviction, like a good amount of strength, and then fail to get through it again and try that upside from there to retest those 42s. That should be a great opportunity for a buy setup. If it just breaks right through, right, and then retests underneath, let that thing fall to its next levels, and then when you see the support come in, then you can look for the longs. If you guys are unsure or uncertain about any of the trades that you're taking, just don't take them. Just watch them, see how they play out, right? Again, like we said time and time again, watching is just as much trading as actual trading. So you got to pay attention to what's going on in the markets and to what's going on in your head. Right? A lot of times your emotions can and your mind can sabotage you in or out of a trade. So you want to pay attention to what you're thinking, and you want to just follow that process that you have, right? If you can't understand what's going on or your trade setup and you can't really see it, just stay away from it until you see the trade set up the way that you understand it best, and then take those trades, right? You might not have a trade for an hour or two, but again, discipline and patience so very important when it comes to trading. Let's take a look at a smaller chart here on gold as well, so you can see we're trying to pull down to that support, and I think we should get down to those 42s, 41 to 42s, and then from there try to make a move in a direction. So we'll see if this market can get down here first, and then if we bounce a couple times and we fail to get through, we can look for this market to try to come back into the middle of the range and then try to retest that top side of 48. So again, 44 to 45 and then 48 is going to be our retest levels that we're looking for. Underneath this level, we'll look for that deeper pull down into 35, 36, and then underneath that 31. Now we could have a move that comes all the way down here like we did over here at 23, but remember this is a strong support. So pay attention to this level. Price can come all the way down into this level and still hold that level and move right back up, right? But for me, we may start to get pretty bearish underneath 23, so you want to pay attention to that as well. But for now, I do like the long side, but we got to wait for the markets to get to our supports first and then show us maybe a nice double bottom, triple bottom, V bottom, and then fail to get through our levels and then try it that way. Other than that, guys, that is it for S&P 500 and also gold. Thank you guys again for those who are subscribed. Watch these videos and smash that like button. For those who are not, please go ahead and subscribe. If you guys do like these videos, again, please go ahead and smash that like button. Any questions you guys have, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. Again, if you guys are interested in learning how to trade consistently within these markets, feel free to pop onto our Pure Structure Trading website and sign up with our team. Other than that, guys, you guys have a great night. You guys trade well.